Anyways, moving on. Tsubasa. Ooh. Tsubasa. Oh man. Okay, Tsubasa's 39 HP, 32 attack, 40 speed, 26 defense, 30 res. That reminds me so much of Shida. Alright, amazingly enough, guys, Tsubasa's 167 BST. 167! So she can reach 170 with a merge. Which goes to say, so could Eleonora, but she would need a super boon. But Tsubasa has super banes in HP and res, and she has super boons in speed and defense. 167 BST. Wow. She can reach 44 speed if she's plus speed. Now we understand why she has to have everything that she has. If you forgot, she comes with Mirage Feather, which is effective against armor and Kaphos, speed +3, and additionally, if any of your allies has ended their combat, she gets attack speed +6, and she can double before your opponent can counterattack. It's not a brave weapon, it's just that it's reverse desperation, so she gets to attack twice. She cannot quad. But still, we now understand why her attack is kind of mediocre. 32 attack, that really reminds me a lot of Shida. Of course, Shida has even less attack, but you know, Tsubasa got released years later, so it's to be expected. Now, her attack is super low, but you gotta remember, she comes with Moonbow, she comes with Blade Session, Chill Speed, and Home Flyers. Blade Session works on the number of allies that have used their turns, so if you have all your allies use their turns, Blade Session could effectively add another 9 attack and 9 speed to her. Even if you had no allies use their turn, it would still be at least 3 attack and 3 speed. And if you had one ally use her turn, which she should in order to trigger her Mirage Feather, it would be 6 attack, 6 speed. So what I'm saying is, her low attack is not really an issue because her base attack is 48, but she can easily add another 6 attack from just having an ally act, and another 6 from her Blade Session. So she's more like 60 attack, times 2. And because she adds 15 speed, because she has 3 from the sword, so she reaches 55 speed really easily. And if Blade Session fully triggers, she could have 58 speed, so. No, she has no issues getting the double, and she has no issues with damage. If you just have one ally use their turn ahead of her, she can reach 60 attack, so she's fine. When it comes to her defensive stats, 26 defense, 30 res, I wouldn't read too much into it. She's supposed to be used offensively. And she's double effective, so she's effective against armor and Kaphos. So a lot of matchups, half the matchups actually, she wouldn't have an issue in. Armor and Cav matchups, she would do 1.5x damage, which essentially gives her like 90 attack effectively. Everything else, I think she's fine. She might have some issues at 60 attack, getting the kill off in 2 shots. But yeah, I mean, if she gets a special trigger, she comes with Moonbow, she should be fine. But the fact that she gets to attack twice before your opponent can attack, and all you have to do is end turn on one of your heroes, is one of the best abilities in the game. So it shouldn't be understated how good she is. Now, let's do some comparisons. What do you guys want? Imagine losing to Ledgering Lin. That's not fair. That's a green archer. That's like... Ledgering Lin was like designed to kill Tsubasa. Even though that's not true, but that's not her fault. Any Lance Flyer would lose to Lin. Or any blue flyer. But I'll do Shida first because she's based on Shida. Now this isn't a fair comparison because Tsubasa released years later and she has over 10 more BST. Shida has 156 BST versus Tsubasa's 166, I believe. 167. Okay, so Shida has 3 less HP, 7 less attack, 3 less speed, 2 less defense, and 4 more res. So Shida's one advantage is 4 more res. Whoop-de-doo. That's not really fair. Even with the wing sword, this gap doesn't shrink because Tsubasa's weapon is so much better than the wing sword. It is basically an improved wing sword. Wing sword's one advantage is that it's better for Gale Force because it can have Flashing Blade inherited or embedded into it, but that's about it. It's really not an advantage when compared to Tsubasa. Now, you want Shigure. Shigure would also not be a fair comparison, but I guess as the free-to-play Lance hero of choice, I guess that's fair. So Shigure has 162 BST, so Tsubasa has a 5 BST advantage. Shigure has 1 more HP, 1 more attack, 3 less speed, 1 more defense, and 5 less res. So, wow, they're actually comparable. Whoever mentions Shigure, gold star to you. Shigure's one biggest difference is speed of 3, but everything else is very comparable. Still, you know, it's not just stats that make a hero. Shigure has no special skills. Tsubasa's skills are immaculate. Her A skills among the best, her weapons among the best. There's not much of a comparison there. So, while the stats are kind of similar, Tsubasa's just much better. Claire is 156 BST versus 167. She has 2 less HP, 6 less attack, 4 less speed, 2 less defense, and 3 more res. So not much of a difference. And Claire and Cheetah's weapon are virtually identical, but yeah, 100% better than Claire, I would say. That slight bit of res does not really make a difference. Sumiya is a interesting pick, but I think you're not wrong for asking for the comparison. They should be very alike. Sumiya's 162 BST versus 167. Sumiya has same HP, 2 less attack, 1 less speed, 3 more defense, and 5 less res. So similar heroes, but again, Tsubasa much better skills. Okay, is that it? Because I want to give you guys my opinion on the banner. This banner is busted. I know I say a lot of banners are busted, but I don't really know what you're supposed to argue with me here. Avrora is clearly the best fire sweep hero because there's been no good unique fire sweep weapons. Roderick's as close as you got, and it's like darting blow. That's it. At least Eleonora can still counterattack. You know, and her offensive stats reaches the same as Alm. So she's what, a top 5 archer? Kiara really lacks comparisons because there's really nothing as high defensively in res or high offensively in attack at the same time. And Momori, we just did comparison with Surtur and a bunch of defensive heroes. She's just much stronger in that respect. Now, we could have compared Forsyth and Sothis, but they sacrificed some defensive stats in order to counterattack and heal up, so it wouldn't be completely fair. I would say I would still take Sothis over Momori, but in terms of pure defensive stats, Momori is ahead. Winter Sothis, I mean. And then when it comes to Tsubasa, the reverse desperation is insane. How easy to trigger it is insane. Her low attack might scare people away, but you gotta remember, with one hero just sitting, like if you end turn on one hero, she reaches 60 attack, and she has double effectiveness, and she can attack twice before your enemy counterattacks. I think she's fine. So all of these heroes are just immaculate. I don't really think there is a bad hero in this banner, and if the Fae anniversary wasn't coming up so soon, I would 100% suggest you guys pull for all these heroes. Okay, so finally, with the summary done, let's get to Itsuki. Itsuki is probably what you guys are most excited about because he's free. If you guys did not know, this man is part of... Wait, what the frig is that? Okay, this man is part of Tempest Trials. This man has 173 BST. 173 for free, which means everybody now has a 175 BST hero for free. There haven't been that many sword heroes to reach 175. Well, no, that's untrue. There have been quite a few. But when it comes to free heroes, he is now officially the highest BST free hero in the game. His stand, or Mirage, is Chrom. He has Super Banes in HP and speed, but those don't matter because he can't utilize them. But he is now the highest BST hero in the game that is free. You get him in Tempest Trials, you will get 2 copies of him. I can't believe he's 173. Okay, but let's break him down so you guys understand why he's so crazy. 41 HP, 37 attack, 30 speed, 33 defense, 32 res. His speed's mediocre, that's fine, but 33 defense and 32 res is pretty respectable. 41 HP is pretty respectable. 37 attack is really high. He's kind of the Chrom archetype, except with much more res, which goes to figure because Chrom's is Mirage. Now, his weapon. This is where things start getting really awesome because Itsuki, we all knew he was going to have his own personal weapon, and for him to give Astram a run for his money for best free-to-play red sword hero, it had to come into the weapon, and I think he did it. This is what his weapon does. Mirage Falchion, effective against dragon foes, grants defense +3, so he's actually 36 defense base. If unit initiates combat, grants bonus to units attack defense during combat equals 3 plus number of allies who have already acted ×2, maximum value of 7. If foe initiates combat, grants bonus to units attack defense during combat equals 7 minus number of foes who have already acted ×2, minimum value of 3. Did you just hear me? What in the world? When we talked about Momori's A skill and Tsubasa's A skill, he essentially has a variation that uses both, but in his sword. In other words, if you have all your allies act already and you attack, you get up to 7 extra attack and defense. Crazy. So when you attack, without considering any of his other skills, just his sword, he has 43 defense when he attacks, and he has 37 plus 16 plus 7. So 60 attack? I'm sorry, I'm mathing this, it's kind of late mentally, but yeah, you can see how that's so good. He has 60 attack base when attacking. Additionally, he's effective against dragons. Now, this weapon works defensively too. When used defensively, if foe initiates combat, grants bonus to units attack defense during combat equals 7 minus number of foes who have already acted ×2. In other words, if he gets attacked by the first foe, he gets up to 7 extra attack and defense. So when he gets hit by the first foe to attack, 43 defense. And at all times, it adds 3 extra attack, 3 extra defense, and 3 extra attack and 3 extra defense. Yeah, at all times, whether being attacked or attacking. So the reality is, he's actually like 42 defense base, because you add 3 from the sword adding 3, and 3 in all situations, whether attacking or defending. At minimum, he's actually 42 defense. He is actually a bulky defensive hero. He has decent HP, really good attack, and really good defense. Which, by the way, he at all times adds 3 attack, so most reasonably he gets to 57 attack at least. Yeah, if not higher. It's a bit confusing because it's the first time we're dealing with these skills, but he basically has Momori and Tsubasa skills, a variation of them, but together. So super good. Now, his other skills, unfortunately, are not as impressive, but his assist skill is Swap, his special is Soul. At least if it's Soul, it makes it easier to get to Ether, right? And his B skill is attack defense link at 4 stars, so people might kill him. Don't kill him for attack defense link. It's a good skill, but eh. And in his C skill is drive defense too. It's not much. That's Itsuki. He's really, really good. I gotta ask you guys, between Itsuki and Astram, who would you pick as your hero? Because that's what it comes down to now. And I think he gives Astram a run for his money. He's better defensively than Astram. He's effective against dragons. And he hits harder than Astram, technically. So, from what I can see, Itsuki, Astram, Itsuki. Itsuki is hotter. That is true. Look at that darling smile. He is a pretty cute boy. I'll give him that. His art's really nice. So here's a reason why I would say you might want to consider Itsuki over Astram. He's much more focused than Astram. Astram's pretty good in everything. While he's like pretty good to very good in a lot of things, Itsuki's very focused. Itsuki's not the best offensive hero because his speed's kind of low, but he's effective against dragons. So he's your answer to dragons. Itsuki's not the best defensively against mages and whatnot, but he's really good defensively for physical heroes. Because again, thanks to his weapon, he at least has 42 defense, and he can reach 45. And if you run like Fortress Defense Res on him, he can reach 50 defense. 50 defense. Like he can reach really good amounts. And 37 Res, for that matter, if you do that. So yeah, Itsuki could be a pretty decent tanker. But let's give Itsuki some comparisons. Now I want to be clear, the rest of his kit is pretty forgettable. It's swap, so attack defense link and drive defense. You're probably replacing all that. I would say if you had to build Itsuki, I really would, if I were you, I would do Fortress Defense Res. Because 37 Res is really respectable. It doesn't matter if he loses 2 attack because he's affecting against dragons, and because of his sword ability, he still hits super hard. I don't think he's close enough to hitting like getting one shots on anything else but dragon heroes and green heroes. So I wouldn't be worried about losing 2 attack for Fortress Defense res. I would run attack smoke on him because I want him to be my main tanker. And for his B skill, it's really flexible. I would consider renewal if you're trying to be cheap. I would consider QR if you really are worried about him doubling, but virtually anything goes because he's actually not too slow. At 30 speed, in a lot of situations, you can prevent him from getting doubled. Now, if the meta speeds up, he's gonna get doubled by everything, but at 30 speed against armory, he should be okay. New armor will double him, of course. But new armor, a lot of new armors, dragons. So like Sothis, for example, he'll one-shot her for sure. Okay, let's start with the comparisons then. Number 1, let's start with Astram. It has to be Astram. It would not be fair if it wasn't Astram. So Astram has 3 more HP, 2 less attack, 6 more speed, 3 more defense, and 11 less res. Which is why I'm saying Itsuki is a much better defensive hero. 33 defense, 32 res is super respectable. And the fact that... But it's still weird. Astram actually has more HP. But anyways, Itsuki hits slightly harder than Astram as well. Now, it's not fair to look at it that way without considering their weapons. Both heroes have really good legendary weapons. Mercurius adds 3 extra attack, so reality is between Itsuki and Astram, because Itsuki also adds attack, whether attacking or defending. They are virtually identical in attacking. Itsuki's one true advantage is, of course, when he attacks dragons. Itsuki has a significant advantage in defense, mostly owing to his weapon and its weapon effects. But Mercurius also buffs attack, speed, defense, res +4 to any physical hero, so sword, lance, axe, bow, dagger, or beast, within 2 spaces for 1 turn, so long as he's within 50%. So Astram is still really good. It's just Itsuki's more focused. Astram's better in a general situation because he can be used offensively a lot easier than Itsuki. It comes down to your preferences. So if a new player started today and I was suggesting a red hero for them, it's between Itsuki and Astram. And the question would go, do you want a more defensive hero who's effective against dragons, or do you want a general hero who buffs your team, who is not good at all against magic? So that's basically the comparison. Next comparison, Rutger. Rutger is fine with me. Rutger is 168 BST, which means Itsuki has a 5 BST advantage. Guys, is this even fair? It hasn't even been a year since Rutger came out, and Itsuki is just... I already thought Astram was better than Rutger. Itsuki's not necessarily better because he's much more different. I mean, he's defensive. Rutger should still be used offensively, but Itsuki comes with his own weapon. It's super cool. Whereas Rutger is like, between Astram and Itsuki, you really should not go for Rutger anymore. Anyways, Rutger has 3 more HP, 5 less attack, 9 more speed, 4 less defense, and wow, 8 less res. Itsuki is really your best defensive red hero in the game right now. Red sword hero in the game right now. That's free. I'm pretty sure there's probably... I'm pretty sure Marita or Larcy or something could be better. No, actually, that's not completely true. Marita maybe because of her swords abilities, but I'm just saying, when it comes to Itsuki, 33 defense, 32 res, that's basically armor levels. That's basically Generation 1 armor levels, which is why I think she's a great replacement for like Drog, Sheena, or Gwendolyn in your team. I know I mentioned different colors, but virtually you only want one hero on your team to be the tanker, right? So I think he's a really ideal tanker. All right, Summerhill Pelvindi, I actually don't like this comparison. Okay, here's comparison. He's 168 BST, so Itsuki has a 5 BST advantage. So Itsuki has 3 less HP. Sorry, I should do it the other way and be consistent. Summerhill Bindi has 3 more HP, 1 less attack, 12 less speed, 4 more defense, 1 more res. Technically, Hellbindi is better defensively, but I do like the fact that Itsuki's around 30 speed, because if you just buff him with like speed tactic, or you have joint hone speed or anything like that, he gets to a point where he can start preventing doubles. Now, 35 speed, 36 speed is not a lot, but you got to consider a lot of armor heroes are in the meta right now, and at that point, he prevents a lot of doubles. They would have to use abilities to double him. And while, you know, Summer Hellbending technically has higher defensive stats, Itsuki's sword adds 3 defense. Itsuki's sword can add up to 7 extra attack and 7 extra defense, whether offensively or defensively. So technically, Itsuki should still be better defensively. So yeah, he's better than Summer Hellbending as well, as from what I can tell. All right, Legendary Marth is not fair because Itsuki has a 10 BST advantage. Legendary Marth's at 163. So Legendary Marth has 1 less HP, 3 less attack, 6 more speed, 1 less defense, 11 less res. Basically, all he has over Itsuki is speed. So Itsuki is actually a much better dragon killer when it comes to one-shotting, but you really can't beat Legendary Marth in killing dragons because of his skills. But when it comes to one-shotting, Itsuki has the advantage. And when it comes to res, Itsuki has the advantage. So defending against dragons, Itsuki's much better off. Yeah, 11 less res. It's that crazy. Itsuki's actually insanely good. All right, here's Ivol, 172 BST. Ivol has same HP, 4 less attack, 5 more speed, 5 less defense. Oh, sorry, 5 more defense, and 7 less res. But again, you really shouldn't let the defenses trick you because Itsuki's weapon adds 3 on base, and it can add up to 7 depending on who he fights, at minimum 3. So Ivol really realistically maybe has a 5 defense advantage in some scenarios, and it can shrink down to 3 extra defense, something like that. So Ivol sacrifices a lot to fight Itsuki, and this also just illustrates why Ivol not demoting is such a dumb move, because there's no way at the time of Ivol's release, IS was not aware of Itsuki. Making these heroes take months of time, and there's a lot of planning. And they clearly planned it to launch with, you know, Tokyo Mirage Sessions port on the Switch. So when Ivol didn't demote, I really don't understand it. Because between Astram, Itsuki, why would you build Ivol? It just no longer makes sense. Alright, so Zelgius. Zelgius has... This is just sad. I want everyone to understand how sad this is. Zelgius is 174 BST. In other words, he has a 1 BST advantage over Itsuki. Zelgius has 5 more HP, 1 less attack, 3 more speed, 5 more defense, at the cost of 11 less res. I would argue to you, Itsuki is 100% better than Zelgius. Zelgius has Black Luna, Zelgius has a DC weapon, but he doesn't have the res to back up a DC weapon. And he's armored, so he doesn't move well at all. I would take Itsuki over him any day. And while he has 38 defense versus Itsuki's 33, Itsuki at minimum gets 6 extra defense from his sword. So, no, he doesn't have more defense. Dual Hector? You realize that's not a comparison at all. Ugh, fine. You guys are making my editing job so hard because I have to put up all these heroes. But you realize Dual Hector is, like, not a comparison? Legendary Hector. No, joking. Dual Hector, 180 BST. So Hector has a 7 BST advantage over Itsuki. And it factors in like this. He has 6 more HP, so I don't really consider HP a big deal or an issue, so that's whatever. 4 more attack, 4 less speed, 6 more defense, 5 less res. In other words, Itsuki is better defensively, Dual Hector is better offensively, Dual Hector is effective against armor, Itsuki is effective against dragons, but defensively Itsuki takes the win owing to more speed, effectively more defense, more res, slightly less HP. Thanks, thanks for the resub, man. But yeah, 4 more attack, I guess. Not much of a difference. Compare him to a stand. Now that's a good one. Chrom is 157 BST, so Itsuki has... Oh my god. Itsuki is, what, 17 BST ahead? That's not fair for Chrom, man. 16 BST ahead, sorry. So Chrom has 6 more HP, same attack, 5 less speed, 2 less defense, and 15 less res. If you haven't built Chrom, good. Don't. Build Itsuki. There's no point in Chrom anymore. In fact, building Chrom means sacrificing Astras, which you should probably put on Itsuki. So, I'm sorry. Today's the death of Chrom. There's just no point to Chrom anymore. They're both free-to-play heroes. I get one uses Grails, but the other one means sacrificing... Ether. Sorry, Ether. Levantine is 163 BST, meaning Itsuki has a 10 BST advantage. And she has 2 less attack. Sorry. 2 less HP. Same attack. 1 more speed. 1 more defense. 10 less res. They're virtually the identical heroes, except for the fact that she traded 10 res for the fact that she has 10 less BST. Dang, that sucks. Levantine's about getting buffed up and one-shotting enemy heroes. So she'll always have her role, but in terms of stats, they're pretty identical, except for the 10 BST difference. Transforming to 10 res difference, but that's about it. Alright, and the final one's Alphonse. I don't know what the point of this one is. It's just gonna make Alphonse look bad. But I'm a big fan of making Alphonse look bad, so... Okay, so Alphonse has 157 BST, and he has 2 more HP, 2 less attack, 5 less speed, 1 less defense, 10 less res. If you haven't built Alphonse for Arena, good. Don't build Itsuki. If you don't have Alphonse already, there's no point. It's just, I don't even see the point of Alphonse at this point. Like, it's, when we looked at Chrom, that was bad, but Alphonse it's even worse. Alright guys, those are your heroes. Itsuki, Tsubasa, Momori, Kira, Elnora. I'm sorry if I butchered names, but I can't pronounce anything. I want to tell you guys this though. We are starting our playthrough for Tokyo Mirage Sessions tomorrow. Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore, which is a Switch port, we are starting tomorrow. If you guys are interested, there will be a short FEH stream before starting that. If you guys are interested, show up tomorrow. I'm going to try starting the stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you guys there. If these heroes interested you at all, why not go through the game with me and find out more about them? As for this banner itself, I think it's immaculate. This is one of the best free-to-play... it's not a free-to-play banner. But this is one of the best groups of heroes we've ever gotten into the game. We've gotten like Genealogy heroes, Thracia heroes recently, and whatnot. But when it comes to normal heroes, every hero here is incredible. And the most insane thing is they're not special heroes. They're joining the normal summoning pool. So if you don't want to summon for them, fine. But this banner itself is such a great thing to add into the game. You added so many great heroes, and because they came into the normal pool, it signals that ICE isn't worried about how weird it looks, because these characters don't look like Fire Emblem characters at all, but now they're part of the normal pool. It actually makes me hopeful for the future where we get other heroes from other games and they're not just going to be special heroes or something, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, follow. That would help me a lot. I'm going to be trying to stream. I've cut down a lot of distractions, so I'm hoping that I can go do these things much better in the future.